Alright, so we are in the home stretch. There's a couple other tweaks we're going to make, and then we'll start talking about some of the, I guess you could call post-processing features in the software. At least that's how I use them. So to start with, I realized two things I want to change on this before we go any further. I want to darken these highlights on the cat a little bit. They're just a little too bright to me. I'm going to just select the cat using the magic wand, and I'm on the highlights layer, which is where the brightest part of this is. And I'm just going to hide the selection, open up hue saturation with the shortcut, or use the quick access, or go to the menu and lighten and just darken this. If you made yours as bright as mine, you might want to do that. I'm also going to grab that pure paintbrush again and just paint in a little bit of texture like it might be fur, so it doesn't look quite so smooth. I'm just drawing little lines in here, kind of following the contours in the direction the hair would go. Not a step you necessarily have to take, but I thought it might look cool. And the other thing that I forgot to do was his eyes. I really didn't do anything to his eyes. And I'm really not going to do much except for I'm going to highlight a little area on the bottom side of both pupils. Then on the highlights layer, using that same bright orange, kind of fill that in. So it looks more like the light from the cat is reflecting there. We can also push this little highlight here a little bit more toward white to really make the eyes stand out. Alright, so let's talk about correction layers next. So in the layer window, if you right click really anywhere on any layer, you'll get an option to add a new correction layer. And these are like adjustment layers if you're familiar with those from Photoshop. And they affect everything below the layer that shows up in the layer stack. So for example, if I just wanted to impact the colors on this and nothing below or nothing above the inks, I can go to my inks, or actually the color holds in this case. Right click, new correction layer, and say color balance, for example. And anything that I adjust here, if I pull this toward red, it's actually not impacting any of the special effects that are above it. But the good thing about correction layers is that they're completely reversible. It's just a layer on top. It's a separate layer, so you can easily turn them off and on. And I'll show you some ways that you might want to use these. So I'm going to go to the top of the layer stack. I'm going to right click, new correction layer, and I'm going to choose color balance. And that brings up the color balance here. Now there's three different ways that you can affect each of these three different areas. So you have shadows, halftones, or you might also call these midtones, and highlights. So if I want to kind of affect the overall feel of the image without making it much darker or much lighter, keep this on halftones and keep brightness checked. What this does is it kind of limits how much it affects how bright the colors are. So for example, if I wanted to shove all of these colors a little bit toward red, then I can start pulling this over and you can see that the entire image is starting to shift a little bit more red. And if I wanted to make it orange, I could add some yellow going the other way. And now that's affecting the entire image. So this is a nice way to kind of create a whole different change on your color palette without having to go in and really change much of anything specifically that you've rendered here. You can switch this to shadow, for example. Let's say I want to shift my shadows toward blue. But I don't do this as often because you can see it's actually darkening this quite a bit, even though keep brightness is checked, because blue is just a dark color. Now this is not actually a bad look because, you know, we've got our entire image, you know, kind of being lit by this orange cat. But one of the neat things about correction layers is that they also, just by default, include a layer mask. What this means is, let's say that I like this look and I want to keep it, but I don't want it to be in the background. That's where this mask comes in. I can just click the background. I'm going to hide the selection so we don't have to look at it. Switch to my fill tool, make sure it's set to refer to other layers, and I'm going to change this to transparency. Because on the mask, if you'll remember, transparency will hide those areas of the layer that's on the layer mask. So in this case, we can actually remove this effect from the background by filling the background with transparency. Now you can see if I Control Z to toggle that off and on, you can see the difference. So now this effect is only affecting our guy here and the cat. Now the other thing this is doing though, because we've basically added an orange tint to the entire image, it's really killed that blue. Okay, that blue is almost, you can see how similar it is to the gray background now. So it's not an effect I really want. I can turn this off to disable the effect, or I could go in and just minimize that effect. So let's say that I go to my soft airbrush. We're still set on transparency over here, and I can just sort of paint this away in the areas that are on this side of the image. And it didn't do anything because I still had the background selected. Deselect that, and then switch to our airbrush, and now we can paint that in. And you can see that that is starting to come back to being blue now. But I do think I'm going to keep that effect. It's pretty subtle, and it's really only affecting the cat and some of the area now by his face. Another type of correction layer that I use pretty often is the gradient map. And this can be a little confusing, but what this does, by default, it's picked just a black and white gradient map. So what this means is the darkest parts of the image, the darkest values on the image, it's set to a black color. The lightest part of the images are white. And there's all sort of different types of gradient maps here, like this sepia tone one here. You can see that it's mapping the darkest parts to the black, getting toward the mid-tone that's starting to get orange, and then on this end it's starting to get yellow. You can click any of these little arrows to change those underlying colors. So like if I grab this yellow, make it more saturated, you can see that those brighter areas are now a lot more yellow. You can also drag these little arrows around. Like I can pull this a little further this way. So it's a quick way to get a neat palette to kind of start from. I know some artists work with it that way. They'll sort of put a gradient map down first and then paint on top. I don't do that a ton personally, but it is an option. And remember, these are not permanent changes. All you have to do is turn the map off and you're right back to where you started. It's also interesting to kind of play around with the blending modes on these, see what you can come up with. They're not all going to be home runs, but you can get some interesting effects by playing around with some of those layer blending modes. You can also adjust the opacity. Not something I really want to do on this image, so I'm just going to delete this layer. One other quick way to kind of tie all your colors together or kind of shift the overall mood of something is to make a new layer and try the soft light blending mode. I'm just going to fill this entire layer with this kind of medium orange that we're seeing here. And you can go in and I can change the saturation to see how much of this I want it to affect. But the more saturated the color is that you use, the more it's going to impact the image. But you can see as I kind of slide this around, just about any color that I pick, it still looks pretty decent because it's allowing a lot of those underlying colors to come through. But it's a real quick, fast way to go in and really completely change the overall feel without having to do very much. And again, you could use a mask and control exactly where this is happening. Let's move on to the next one.